At the engagement banquet, I was wearing a wedding dress worth $1 million, but in the bathroom, I overheard the conversation I least wanted to hear. "Brother Adrian, are you really going to marry Aurora?" Rachel's voice carried a sobbing tone. "Rachel, you know I only love you. But Aurora's family business is too important to the Adrian family, I must marry her." Adrian's voice was soft, yet it cut into my heart like a knife. "But I can't bear to part with you. Once I secure my position as the heir to the Adrian family, I'll find a way to divorce her. Then we can be together openly." I leaned against the bathroom door panel, feeling the world spinning. From childhood to adulthood, everyone said that Adrian and I were a match made in heaven. Our families were old acquaintances, we were childhood sweethearts, and perfectly matched in social status. But who could have imagined that this marriage envied by everyone was nothing more than a transaction in his eyes? "Aurora, are you in there? The guests are all waiting for you." My best friend Luna's voice came from outside. I took a deep breath, composed my expression, and walked out. "What's wrong? Your face looks so pale?" Luna looked at me with concern. "Nothing, probably just nervous." I forced a smile. Back in the banquet hall, Adrian was chatting and laughing with the guests. Seeing me, he walked over and naturally put his arm around my waist. "Aurora, where did you go? I've been looking for you for so long." His smile was perfectly flawless. I looked at him and suddenly felt he was very unfamiliar. When did this person who grew up with me become so hypocritical? "I went to touch up my makeup," I said calmly. The banquet continued, and I cooperated with all the procedures like a puppet. Until Edward was about to announce the wedding date, a low voice rang out. "Grandpa, I oppose this marriage." Everyone looked toward the sound and saw a tall figure walking from the back of the banquet hall. It was Ethan. The illegitimate son of the Adrian family, Adrian's half-brother from the same father but different mother. He was wearing a black suit, with a stern face and a dangerous yet charming aura. Completely different from Adrian's gentle elegance, he had a wild charm. The banquet hall instantly fell into dead silence. "Ethan, what nonsense are you talking?" Edward's face turned ashen. Ethan walked to the stage, his gaze sweeping between Adrian and me, finally fixing on my face. "Because the bride doesn't love the groom." His voice was soft, yet clearly reached everyone's ears. My heartbeat suddenly accelerated. How did he know? Adrian's face changed. "Ethan, don't make a scene here." "Making a scene?" Ethan sneered. "Then let me ask you, does what you said to Rachel outside the bathroom just now count as making a scene?" Adrian's face instantly turned pale. The guests began whispering, and I saw Rachel hiding in the crowd, her face equally ugly. "Brother Ethan." I spoke softly. From childhood to adulthood, I had always been curious about this mysterious eldest son of the Schaff family. He was 3 years older than Adrian and, due to his illegitimate status, rarely appeared in formal occasions. But every time I saw him, I would feel an indescribable heartbeat. "Have you thought it through?" Ethan walked up to me, his voice only audible to the two of us. I looked into his deep eyes and suddenly understood something. "I've thought it through." I took a deep breath, turned to face all the guests. "Ethan is right, I don't love Adrian." The banquet hall completely erupted. "Aurora, are you crazy?" Adrian grabbed my arm. "I'm not crazy, I just don't want to deceive myself anymore." I shook off his hand. "From today on, our engagement is null and void." After saying that, I took off the diamond ring on my hand and threw it on the ground. Edward trembled with anger. "Aurora, do you know what you're doing?" "I know." I looked at Ethan. "I want to go with him." A flash of surprise passed through Ethan's eyes, but it was quickly replaced by admiration. "Good." He extended his hand. "Then come with me." I held his hand without hesitation. At that moment, I felt an unprecedented freedom. Ethan took me away from the banquet hall, with chaotic voices behind us. "Aurora! Come back here." "Ethan! Are you crazy? She's your brother's fiancée." This is completely disgraceful to the Shao family. But we didn't look back. Ethan's car was parked at the hotel entrance, a low-key black sports car. He opened the passenger door for me. "Regret it?" he asked. "No regrets." I got into the car. "What about you?" "Me?" Ethan started the car, a smile curling at the corner of his mouth. "I couldn't wait to break you two up." "Why?" He turned his head to look at me, his gaze deep. "Because I like you. I've liked you for a long time." My face instantly turned red. "How long ago is a long time?" 10 years ago, at your 15th birthday banquet." Ethan focused on driving, his voice soft. "You were wearing a pink princess dress, standing in the garden feeding the goldfish. The sunlight shone on you, and I knew I would never forget that scene in my life." I was stunned. 10 years ago, I did feed the goldfish at my birthday banquet. Ethan was there too, but he always stood far away. I thought he didn't like playing with us kids. "Then why didn't you say anything?" "Say what?" "Tell you I like you, and then make you choose between me and Adrian?" Ethan smiled bitterly. "I'm an illegitimate child, I don't have the right." "In my eyes, you've never been an illegitimate child." I said seriously. "You are Ethan, the one and only Ethan." The car stopped at the traffic light, and Ethan turned his head to look at me deeply. "Aurora, do you know what being with me means?" "What does it mean?" "It means you'll lose your status as the heiress of the Aurora family, you'll be ostracized by the entire upper society, and your parents will disown you." His voice was heavy. "I can't give you anything." "Who says you can't give me anything?" I held his hand. "You gave me courage, gave me the chance to escape that cage. That's more precious than anything." Ethan stared at me blankly, with an emotion in his eyes that I couldn't understand. "Have you really thought it through?" "Yes." I nodded. "What about you? Are you willing to take a heiress abandoned by her family?" "Silly girl." Ethan gently stroked my cheek. "What I want has never been the heiress of the Aurora family, what I want is Aurora." The green light came on, and Ethan restarted the car. "Where are we going?" I asked. "To my place." "Your place?" "I have a villa in the suburbs, very quiet, no one will disturb us." The car drove out of the city, the night wind blowing in through the window, carrying the scent of grass. I suddenly realized how little I knew about Ethan. I knew he was the illegitimate son of the Adrian family, knew he rarely appeared in public, but what he did usually, where he lived, what he liked, I knew nothing. "Brother Ethan, what do you usually do?" "Business," Ethan said simply. "What kind of business?" "Some businesses that Edward looks down on." His tone was somewhat mocking. "Entertainment industry, internet technology, and some investments." "Then you want to ask if I have money, right?" Ethan saw through my concerns. "Don't worry, I can afford to support you." "That's not what I meant." "I know it's not." Ethan reached out to hold my hand. "But I hope you know, even if the whole world doesn't want you, I do." My heart was struck hard. How can this man always say such things? The villa was halfway up the mountain, and the environment was indeed very quiet. The house wasn't large, but it was decorated with great taste, showing the owner's care everywhere. "Are you hungry? I'll make you something to eat." Ethan took off his coat. "You can cook?" I was a bit surprised. Living outside for a long time, you have to learn to take care of yourself. He rolled up his sleeves, revealing strong arms. "You go take a shower first, change into comfortable clothes. There are new clothes in the wardrobe of the master bedroom upstairs." "Why do you have women's clothes?" I asked suspiciously. Ethan was stunned, then burst into laughter. "I had my assistant buy them, they were delivered yesterday." "Yesterday?" "I decided yesterday to take you away," he said as a matter of course. My face turned red, and I ran upstairs like escaping. The master bedroom was large, with a decoration style leaning toward cool tones, very fitting for Ethan's personality. There were indeed several sets of women's clothes in the wardrobe, the size just right. I casually took a set of casual clothes and changed into them. just about to go downstairs when my phone suddenly rang. It was Adrian. I hesitated for a moment but still answered. Aurora, where are you? Come back quickly, let's talk properly. Adrian's voice was urgent. There's nothing to talk about, I said indifferently. You must have done this on impulse, we grew up together, are all these years of feelings fake? Adrian, you know in your heart what's real and what's fake. I sneered, and please don't contact me anymore. Aurora. Were you threatened by Ethan? Don't you know what kind of person he is? He's just an illegitimate child, he'll never make it to the stage. Enough. I said angrily, Adrian, you have no right to talk about him. After saying that, I hung up the phone and blocked Adrian's number. When I went downstairs, Ethan had already prepared the meal. Simple 3 dishes and 1 soup, but it looked very appetizing. What's wrong? Your face looks so bad? He keenly noticed the change in my mood. Adrian called. I said truthfully. Ethan's face instantly darkened. What did he say? Nothing, just some irrelevant words. I didn't want their brotherly relationship to worsen because of me. Aurora. Ethan put down his chopsticks and looked at me seriously. From now on, tell me anything, don't bear it alone. I nodded, feeling warm inside. At this moment, I suddenly felt that perhaps my choice was right. The next morning, I was woken up by various phone calls. First my mom, Aurora, what are you doing? Hurry home. Then my dad, rebellious daughter. Do you know how much face you've lost for the Aurora family with your behavior yesterday? Then Luna, Aurora, are you really with Ethan? I hung up one by one, and finally just turned off the phone. Ethan came upstairs with breakfast, seeing my worried face, and asked gently, what's wrong? My parents want me to go home. I sighed, this time I might really fall out with my family. Regret it? No regrets. I shook my head, just a bit unaccustomed. From childhood to adulthood, I've never disobeyed my parents' wishes. Ethan sat by the bed, gently stroking my hair. Aurora, do you know why I haven't been willing to return to the Adrian family all these years? Why? Because in that family, I'm always superfluous. I have to live cautiously, can't make mistakes, can't be ostentatious, can't even express my true thoughts. There was an indescribable fatigue in his eyes. That feeling is like being locked in an exquisite cage. I looked at him, a surge of heartache rising in my heart. But now it's different. Ethan held my hand. I have someone I want to protect, I have motivation to strive for. Brother Ethan. Aurora, I know you're uneasy now, but please believe me, I'll give you the life you want. His gaze was firm, making me inexplicably at ease. After breakfast, Ethan took me to his company. You're going to work, isn't it inconvenient to bring me? I was a bit embarrassed. What's inconvenient about it? Ethan said as a matter of course, from now on, you're my boss lady. Boss lady? My face turned red. Ethan's company was in an office building in the city center, larger in scale than I imagined. The employees were very respectful when they saw him, but their eyes were full of curiosity when they saw me. This is Miss Chu. Ethan introduced simply, from now on, she is our boss lady. Me. Employees. Boss, this is. The assistant asked cautiously. The proposal was successful yesterday. Ethan lied calmly. I stared at him with wide eyes. How can this man be so thick-skinned? Congratulations, boss. Congratulations, boss lady. The employees congratulated one after another. I was pulled into the office by Ethan. How can you say that randomly? I protested in a low voice. Where did I say it randomly? Ethan sat in the boss chair and pulled me into his arms. I am indeed pursuing you, and you did agree. But we haven't confirmed the relationship yet. Confirm it now. Ethan looked down at me. Aurora, be my girlfriend. My heart was beating fast, almost jumping out of my chest. Does this count as courting? Yes. Then I'll think about it. Before I finished speaking, Ethan lowered his head and kissed me. His kiss was domineering, with an undeniable force. I was kissed until I was dizzy and almost forgot to breathe. "Have you thought about it now?" he asked against my lips. "Yes." My voice was as small as a mosquito. "What?" "I can't hear." "I've thought about it," I said loudly, then shyly buried myself in his arms. Ethan laughed, his voice low and sexy. At that moment, the office door was pushed open. "Ethan, we need to talk." I looked up, it was Adrian. His face was gloomy, his eyes burning with anger. Ethan protected me, looking at him coldly. "Who let you in?" "Aurora, come back with me, our engagement still stands." Adrian completely ignored Ethan and said directly to me. "I've made it very clear, it's over between us." I stood up from Ethan's arms. "Are you angry because of what happened yesterday?" "I can cut off ties with Ruashi." Adrian looked sincere. "Aurora, we grew up together, can you just forget all these years of feelings?" "Adrian, don't you think saying these words now is ridiculous?" I sneered. "You never had me in your heart, why bother acting here?" "How could I not have you in my heart?" Enough." Ethan stood up and walked in front of Adrian. "Aurora is already my girlfriend, you'd better stop while you can." "Girlfriend?" Adrian couldn't believe it. "How long have you known each other?" "She was still my fiancée yesterday." "Time is not the issue," Ethan said lightly, "the important thing is she chose me." Adrian's face became even uglier. "Ethan, don't think that taking Aurora away means you've won. You'll always be an illegitimate child, never able to make it to the stage." "Is that so?" Ethan narrowed his eyes, a dangerous aura emanating from him. "Then do you want to see how much strength this illegitimate child who can't make it to the stage really has?" After saying that, he picked up the intercom on the desk. "Assistant Zhang, have the legal department prepare. I want to acquire shares in the Adrian Group." Adrian's face changed drastically. "Are you crazy?" "I'm not crazy, I'm just protecting my woman." Ethan sneered. "Since the Adrian family can't tolerate me, then I'll make the Adrian family surname Ethan." I looked at Ethan in shock. I didn't expect him to have such boldness. Adrian trembled with anger, pointing at us, unable to speak. Finally, he viciously threw down a sentence, "You'll regret this." Then slammed the door and left. The office quieted down, and I looked at Ethan. "Was what you said just now true?" "Of course it's true." Ethan sat down again. "I've wanted to do this for a long time, just never had the right opportunity." "Then your strength." "Enough to buy the entire Adrian family," Ethan said lightly. I was completely shocked. How many secrets does this man still have? The news of Ethan acquiring the Adrian Group spread quickly, and the entire business world was speculating about the reasons behind it. I sat in Ethan's office, watching the reports on this matter in the financial news, my mood mixed. "Regret it?" Ethan came back from a meeting outside and saw my worried face. "I just feel that making you completely break with your family because of me, isn't that too selfish?" "Aurora." Ethan walked over, squatted in front of me. "The conflict between me and the Adrian family has been long-standing, not starting because of you." "But." "No buts." He held my hand. "Moreover, I've never considered the Adrian family as my family. In my heart, you are my family." My eyes instantly turned red. How can this man always say such heart-touching words? "Boss, Charles and Sophia are here." The assistant knocked and came in. My heart tightened. My parents were here. "Let them in." Ethan stood up and said calmly. Soon, my parents appeared at the office door. My mom cried as soon as she saw me. "Aurora, are you trying to anger your mother to death?" My dad was full of anger. "Aurora, come home with us immediately." "Dad, Mom." I stood up, somewhat at a loss. "Uncle Aurora, Aunt Aurora." Ethan greeted politely. "Please sit." "Ethan, what kind of bewitching potion did you give my daughter?" My dad glared at him. "I didn't give Aurora any bewitching potion, I just gave her the right to choose." Ethan said calmly. Choice? What does a 20-something girl know about choice? My mom wiped her tears. Ethan, Aunt has watched you grow up, you're a good child, but you and Aurora are really not suitable. Why not suitable? You're an illegitimate child, your status doesn't match Aurora's. Moreover, Adrian and Aurora grew up together, they are the real match made in heaven. Hearing this, I couldn't hold back anymore. Mom. How can you say that about brother Ethan? Aurora, you're still young, don't understand. I'm not young. I'm already 23. I said excitedly, and Adrian doesn't love me at all, he loves Rachel. So what? It's normal for men to have a few women outside, as long as he marries you. My dad said indifferently. I could hardly believe what I heard. Dad, what are you saying? I'm talking about reality. Adrian is the heir to the Adrian family, marrying him makes you the matriarch of the Adrian family. And Ethan? He's just an illegitimate child, never able to make it to the stage. Enough. I stood up angrily. I won't allow you to talk about brother Ethan like that. Uncle Aurora, Aunt Aurora. Ethan suddenly spoke, his voice calm. I know you're worried that Aurora will suffer following me, but I can guarantee that I'll protect her with my life. What do you have to protect her with? My dad sneered. You, an illegitimate child, what do you have besides a face? Ethan didn't get angry, but picked up a document from the desk and handed it to my dad. What is this? My dad took it doubtfully. Proof of equity in the Star Group. Ethan said lightly, the Star Group is a company I built single-handedly, currently valued at $50 billion. My dad's face changed instantly. How is this possible? In addition, I have some other investments and assets, total assets around $80 billion. Ethan continued, Uncle Aurora, do you think such a me is worthy of Aurora? The office was so quiet you could hear a pin drop. My mom looked at Ethan in shock, unable to speak for a long time. I was also completely stunned. 80 billion? What kind of concept is that? Even if you have money, but your background. My dad still wanted to say something. Dad. I interrupted him, enough. In my eyes, brother Ethan is better than anyone. Aurora, calm down a bit. I am calm. I took a deep breath. Dad, Mom, I've decided, I want to be with brother Ethan. If you can't accept it, then we'll sever ties. My mom instantly cried even harder. Aurora, are you trying to anger your mother to death? Aunt Aurora, please don't cry. Ethan handed over a tissue. I promise you, I'll take good care of Aurora. But being together like this, you'll be laughed at by the entire upper society. My mom sobbed. Let them laugh. I said firmly, I don't care how others see it. My dad looked at the document in his hand, then at Ethan, his facial expression constantly changing. Finally, he sighed, Ethan, if you're really determined to marry Aurora, then we need to talk about conditions. Dad. I looked at him in disbelief. What conditions? Ethan asked. First, you must make Aurora's identity public, you can't let her be a secret lover. That's of course. Second, you must give Aurora a formal wedding, you can't wrong her. I'll give her the grandest wedding in the world. Finally. My dad paused, you must guarantee never to betray Aurora. Ethan nodded seriously, I swear on my life, in this lifetime, I only love Aurora. My tears instantly welled up. My mom also stopped crying, looking at us complicatedly. All right. My dad finally compromised, but I have one requirement, you must get engaged first, then you can officially date. Okay. Ethan agreed without hesitation. Just like that, in the midst of chaos, my relationship with Ethan got my parents' approval. Although the process had some twists and turns, the result was good. The engagement ceremony was scheduled a month later, at the Aurora family estate. In this month, Ethan officially launched the acquisition of the Adrian Group, shocking the entire business world. Ethan is actually so rich? Luna looked at the news in shock. Aurora, what kind of dumb luck did you have? What dumb luck, this is called having a keen eye. I said proudly. But now outside they're all saying you betrayed Adrian for money. My good mood instantly disappeared. Let them say what they want, I don't care. But I care. Ethan walked in from outside, his face somewhat gloomy. What's wrong? I asked worriedly. Someone is spreading rumors online, saying you chose me for money. Ethan sat beside me, and some say I used money to snatch Adrian's fiancée. Do you believe these words? Of course I don't, but I don't want others to say that about you. Ethan held my hand. Aurora, how about we get married first, skip the engagement? Ah? I was stunned. Why suddenly get married? Because I want everyone to know that you are Ethan's wife. Whoever dares to say a bad word about you, I'll make them pay. A dangerous glint flashed in Ethan's eyes, making my heart race. But we've only been dating for a month. Time is not the issue. Ethan leaned closer to me. Aurora, marry me. Does this count as a proposal? I asked with a red face. Yes. Ethan suddenly took out an exquisite ring box from his pocket. Aurora, marry me, let me love you for a lifetime. Inside the box was a pink diamond ring, a full 5 carats, sparkling in the sunlight. Oh my God! Luna exclaimed beside me, how much does this cost? I ignored Luna's exclamation and just stared at Ethan blankly. Why choose pink? Because 10 years ago, you looked so beautiful in a pink dress. From then on, pink became my favorite color. Ethan said gently. My tears instantly welled up. I do. I choked. Ethan put the ring on me, then kissed me deeply. At that moment, Adrian suddenly burst in. Aurora! I won't allow you to marry him. Adrian looked angry. Adrian, enough. I got up from Ethan's arms. It's been over between us for a long time. We're not over. Adrian said excitedly, Aurora, you can't marry him, he's my brother. So what? I sneered, legally, you have no blood relation. But morally, it doesn't make sense. Morals? I was even angrier. Adrian, you have the face to talk to me about morals? When you were with Rachel behind my back, why didn't you think about morals? Adrian was left speechless by my words. Moreover, I now solemnly tell you, I've never loved you. I said word by word, the person I've loved from beginning to end is Ethan. This sentence was like a knife, stabbing hard into Adrian's heart. His face instantly turned pale, his eyes full of disbelief. This is impossible, you clearly. I clearly what? Clearly clinging to you every day? I sneered, that's because I was forcing myself to fall in love with you. But now I realize that some feelings can't be forced. Adrian staggered back, seeming to have suffered a huge blow. Adrian. Ethan suddenly spoke, his voice calm, I advise you to give up. Aurora is mine, for this lifetime. I won't give up. Adrian roared hysterically, Ethan, don't think that acquiring the Adrian group means you can do whatever you want. I tell you, I still have moves. After saying that, he turned and ran. What does he want to do? I asked worriedly. No matter what he wants to do, I'll protect you. Ethan hugged me. Aurora, let's get married immediately, not giving anyone a chance to destroy it. Okay. I nodded, I'll listen to you. 3 days later, we got our marriage certificate at the Civil Affairs Bureau. Looking at the red little book, I suddenly had an unreal feeling. Did I really marry Ethan? Regret it? Ethan saw me spacing out and asked nervously. No regrets. I shook my head, just feel too happy, a bit like dreaming. Then let me make you more sure. Ethan suddenly picked me up and kissed me hard on the lips. Aurora, you are now my wife. Mrs. Ethan. I corrected him, I'm now called Mrs. Ethan. Ethan laughed, his eyes full of indulgence. Yes, my Mrs. Ethan. On the 3rd day of our marriage, trouble came. Adrian united with other shareholders of the Adrian family and filed a legal lawsuit against Ethan's acquisition, on the grounds of malicious acquisition. Is this useful? I asked worriedly. Useless. Ethan calmly drank his coffee. My acquisition process is completely legal, they can't win the lawsuit. Then why is he doing this? To delay time. A cold glint flashed in Ethan's eyes, he's waiting for an opportunity. What opportunity? An opportunity to destroy us. As soon as the words fell, Ethan's phone rang. Brother Ethan, bad news. The assistant's urgent voice came from the phone. There are many false reports about you and Madam online. We quickly opened the computer, and indeed there were many negative news about us online. Tycoon's illegitimate son uses money to tempt sister-in-law to betray brother. Aurora family heiress abandons childhood sweetheart for money. Adrian family brothers turn against each other, all because of one woman. Each title was extremely vicious, and the accompanying pictures were all of me and Ethan, obviously deliberately done by someone. How did these photos come about? My face turned pale. Probably someone hired paparazzi. Ethan's face was gloomy. Adrian, really good tactics. Even more outrageous were the comment sections full of abusive voices. Aurora is just a gold digger, willing to do anything for money. Ethan is no good either, snatching his own brother's woman. Such people should be banned by the whole society. Looking at these vicious comments, my hands were trembling. Aurora, don't look. Ethan turned off the computer and pulled me into his arms. These are all fake. We know the truth, that's enough. But now everyone is saying this about us. My tears couldn't help but flow. Then let them say, I don't care. Ethan gently stroked my hair. Aurora, no matter the storms outside, I'll protect you. But if this continues, it will affect your business. If the business is gone, I can start over, but there's only one you. Ethan cupped my face, said seriously, Aurora, in my heart, you're more important than anything. At that moment, the doorbell rang. Ethan went to open the door, and when he came back, his face looked very bad. Who came? I asked. Edward. My heart tightened. What is Edward here for? Soon, Edward appeared in the living room. He looked much older than last time we met, and his complexion was also poor. Grandpa. Ethan greeted coldly. Ethan, Aurora. Edward glanced at us, we need to talk. There's nothing to talk about. Ethan refused, I'm no longer part of the Adrian family. You'll always be my grandson. Edward sighed, Ethan, I know I wasn't good to you before, but now the rumors online have greatly affected the Adrian family's reputation. So what? I hope you can separate temporarily for a while, wait until the heat dies down. Impossible. Ethan refused without hesitation. Ethan, you have to consider the big picture. What big picture? Ethan sneered, the Adrian family's big picture? Sorry, I'm not interested in the Adrian family's big picture. If you continue like this, not only will you ruin the Adrian family, but also the Aurora family. Edward looked at me, Aurora, are you willing to see your parents implicated because of you? My heart tightened. Indeed, the online rumors had also affected the Aurora family. My dad's company had already suffered some impact. Aurora, don't listen to him. Ethan held my hand, I have the ability to protect you and your family. But. No buts. Ethan said firmly, we are husband and wife, we should face all difficulties together. Edward saw our persistence, his face even uglier. Fine, since you're insistent, don't blame me for being rude. What do you want to do? Ethan asked alertly. I'll publicly announce that the Adrian family severs all ties with you. At the same time, I'll let the entire business world know that Ethan is no longer part of the Adrian family. You think I care? You don't care, but Aurora will. Edward smiled sinisterly, an illegitimate child abandoned by his family, worthy of the Aurora family's heiress? I stood up angrily, Edward, please watch your words. Aurora, I'm doing this for your own good. Edward said hypocritically, you're still young, don't ruin your life for a momentary impulse. My life is my own to decide. I said firmly, moreover, Ethan will never be an illegitimate child, he is my husband, the best man in my heart. Edward was choked by my words and couldn't speak. Aurora is right. Ethan stood up, anger burning in his eyes. Edward, since you look down on me so much, then we'll see in court. What do you mean? I want to completely acquire the Adrian Group, then rename it to Star Group. Ethan sneered. At that time, the Adrian family will really be gone. Edward's face instantly turned pale. You can't do this. Why can't I? Ethan approached step by step. It was you who first announced severing ties with me, so naturally I don't need to consider any family ties. Edward pointed at Ethan with trembling fingers, unable to speak for a long time. Finally, he left in embarrassment. Looking at Edward's departing figure, I suddenly felt an indescribable heartache. Brother Ethan, isn't this too ruthless? Aurora, being merciful to enemies is being cruel to yourself. Ethan hugged me. I won't let anyone hurt you, including the Adrian family. I leaned in his arms, my mood complex. For me, is Ethan really going to be enemies with the entire Adrian family? The online rumors intensified, and Ethan and I almost became public enemies. We didn't dare go out, could only stay at home. Aurora, how about we go abroad for honeymoon? Ethan suggested, come back after the heat dies down. Escaping is not the way. I shook my head, and I don't want those people to think we're guilty. Then what do you want to do? Respond publicly. I said firmly, I want to tell everyone that I'm with you not because of money, but because of love. Ethan stared at me blankly, his eyes full of emotion. Aurora, have you really thought it through? Once we respond publicly, there's no turning back. From the moment I married you, I never thought about turning back. I held his hand. Brother Ethan, let's face it together, okay? Okay. Ethan nodded. Then let's hold a press conference and tell everyone the truth. The press conference was scheduled 3 days later, at the Star Group's building. That day, many reporters came, flashlights flashing nonstop on site. Ethan and I held hands and walked to the stage, facing dozens of cameras below. Dear journalist friends, today's press conference is to clarify some false rumors about me and my wife. Ethan got straight to the point. Immediately, a reporter below raised a hand to ask, Mr. Ethan, is your union with Miss Aurora for commercial interests? No. Ethan said firmly, I married Aurora purely because of love. Then how do you explain the act of snatching love at Miss Aurora's engagement banquet? I didn't snatch love, I just gave Aurora a choice. Ethan looked at me, and she chose me. Miss Aurora, did you choose Mr. Ethan because of his wealth? I took a deep breath and stood up. I chose Ethan not because of his money, but because of who he is. But according to our understanding, you and Mr. Adrian grew up together, with deep feelings. Deep feelings don't represent love. I interrupted the reporter. I admit, I once tried to fall in love with Adrian, but a forced melon is not sweet. True love can't be forced. Then when did your feelings for Mr. Ethan start? Many years ago, the first time I saw him. I looked at Ethan, my eyes full of tenderness. At that time, I knew he was the one I was waiting for. Ethan held my hand tightly, tears glistening in his eyes. Mr. Ethan, there are rumors that you acquired the Adrian Group to revenge the Adrian family, is that true? Not entirely. Ethan said honestly, I acquired the Adrian Group, first to protect my wife from harm, second to prove my ability. Do you think the Adrian family's attitude toward you is fair? Whether fair or not is not important, what's important is that I now have my own home. Ethan looked at me. Aurora is my home, my whole world. Applause rang out from below. Last question, what do you want to say to those who doubt your relationship? Ethan and I exchanged a glance, then stood up together. We want to say that love doesn't need to be proven to anyone. Ethan said, we love each other, we got married, we'll be happy for a lifetime. That's enough. Moreover, we'll use time to prove that our love is real. I added. After the press conference, the online direction began to change. Many people were moved by our sincerity and started supporting us. Of course, some still maliciously attacked, but we no longer cared. Aurora, do you not regret it? That night, Ethan hugged me and asked. Regret what? bearing so much pressure for me. Silly. I nuzzled in his arms. Loving someone means bearing everything. This is what I willingly do. Ethan hugged me tightly, his voice somewhat choked. Aurora, meeting you is the luckiest thing in my life. Me too. I closed my eyes, feeling his warmth. Brother Ethan, I love you. I love you too, forever. Just when I thought everything would calm down, Adrian appeared again. This time he wasn't here to entangle, but to apologize. Aurora, I'm sorry. Adrian stood at our door, looking haggard. This time I was too extreme and did many wrong things. I was a bit surprised. Adrian, you. I figured it out. Adrian smiled bitterly. You were right, a forced melon is not sweet. I shouldn't force you to love me. Ethan looked at him warily. What do you want to say? I want to say, I'm letting go. Adrian looked at us. Aurora, I wish you happiness. After saying that, he turned to leave. Wait. I called him. Adrian, what about Rachel? Adrian's body stiffened. She's with someone else. I was stunned. No wonder Adrian looked so haggard. Sorry, I didn't know. It's okay. Adrian waved his hand. This is karma. I betrayed you, now she betrayed me. Looking at Adrian's lonely back, my heart was mixed. Aurora, what are you thinking? Ethan asked. I'm thinking, if I hadn't chosen you back then, what would it be like now? Ethan's face changed instantly. You regret it? No, I don't regret it. I quickly explained, I just feel that life is really wonderful. One choice can change the entire life trajectory. Ethan breathed a sigh of relief. That's good. I thought you. Thought I what? I asked curiously. Thought you pitied Adrian and wanted to go back to him. Ethan said, somewhat embarrassed. I couldn't help but laugh. Ethan, when did you become so insecure? Because you're too important to me. Ethan said seriously, I'm afraid of losing you. Then listen well. I cupped his face, saying word by word, I, Aurora, in this lifetime only love Ethan, through life and death. Tears welled up in Ethan's eyes, and he excitedly kissed me. A month later, the acquisition case of the Adrian Group settled. Ethan successfully acquired 70% of the Adrian Group's shares, becoming the absolute controlling shareholder. Edward was completely defeated, and Adrian also lost his inheritance rights. Now how do you want to handle the Adrian Group? I asked Ethan. Rename it to Star Group, then merge it with my company. Ethan said lightly, as for Edward and Adrian, leave them some shares to ensure their livelihood. Don't you hate them? I hated them, but not now. Ethan hugged me, because if not for their forcing, I might never have had the courage to confess to you. So, bad things can turn into good things? Yes, as long as the result is good, the pain in the process is worth it. Half a year later, we held a grand wedding. The entire ceremony was held by the sea, inviting all relatives and friends. When I walked toward Ethan in my wedding dress, his eyes were full of tears. Aurora, you're so beautiful. He choked. Then you have to cherish me well. I said playfully. I will, with my life. When exchanging rings, Ethan whispered in my ear, Aurora, thank you for choosing me. Silly, I should thank you for giving me courage. I replied. When the pastor announced we were officially husband and wife, the whole venue erupted in enthusiastic applause. I saw Adrian below also applauding for us, although there was reluctance in his eyes, but more was blessing. At that moment, I suddenly understood what letting go means. True love is not possession, but blessing. Life after marriage was sweet and peaceful. Ethan handed most of the business to professional managers and focused on accompanying me. Don't you think this is too wasteful? I asked, leaning in his arms. Such a big company, and you just let go? Money is enough to spend, accompanying you is more important. Ethan gently stroked my hair. Aurora, I want a child. My face instantly turned red. We've only been married for half a year. Time is not the issue. Ethan smirked. I want a daughter as beautiful as you. What if it's a son? Then a son as handsome as me. I was amused by him. You really are narcissistic. I'm just stating facts. Ethan said seriously. Just as we were discussing children, Adrian suddenly visited. Aurora, brother Ethan, sorry to disturb. Adrian looked much better spirited. I have good news to tell you. What good news? I asked curiously. I'm getting married. Adrian said smiling. The other party is a very good girl, we're very suitable. I was stunned, then genuinely happy for him. Congratulations. Thank you. Adrian looked at us. Also, I want to invite you to my wedding. Ethan and I exchanged a glance, both seeing surprise in each other's eyes. Are you sure? Ethan asked. Sure. Adrian nodded. Let the past be past, we should all look forward. Finally, we agreed to Adrian's invitation. At his wedding, I saw that girl. She was very beautiful, and more importantly, the way she looked at Adrian was very gentle. They look very much in love. I said to Ethan. Yes. Ethan nodded. Perhaps this ending is the best for everyone. After the wedding, Adrian came over to say goodbye to us. Aurora, thank you. He said sincerely, if not for your rejection, I would never understand what true love is. No need to thank me, finding true love is your fortune. I sincerely blessed him. Adrian looked at Ethan. Brother Ethan, I was too immature before, I hope you can forgive me. It's all in the past. Ethan patted his shoulder. Cherish your wife well in the future. I will. Adrian nodded, then turned and left. Looking at his back as he left hand in hand with his new wife, I felt 1,000 emotions. What's wrong? Ethan asked. I'm thinking, if I hadn't had the courage to leave back then, what would it be like now? Then there wouldn't be us now. Ethan hugged me. So, courage is the most precious quality. Yes, if not for that day's courage, we might never be together. Then do you regret it now? Of course not. I tiptoed and kissed him. Being with you is the most correct decision I've made in my life. After returning home, Ethan suddenly looked at me very seriously. Aurora, let's have a child too. Now? Now. Ethan nodded. I want a child of ours, to witness our love. My heart beat fast, my face very red. Okay. I said softly. That night, for the first time, we had no protection. 3 months later, I found out I was pregnant. Looking at the 2 lines on the pregnancy test, I was so excited that tears came out. Brother Ethan. I rushed out of the bathroom. I'm pregnant. Ethan was handling documents in the study, stunned upon hearing my words, then ecstatically rushed over to hug me. Really? His voice trembled with excitement. Really? I showed him the pregnancy test. We're going to have a child. Ethan held me carefully, his eyes full of tears. Aurora, thank you. He choked. Thank you for giving me a complete home. Silly, this is our child, I should thank you too. In the following 9 months, Ethan took care of me meticulously. He resigned from all unnecessary work and focused on accompanying me. Every day he varied the patterns to make various nutritious meals for me, and personally accompanied me to prenatal checkups. Don't you think it's too troublesome? I was a bit embarrassed. How could taking care of you and our child be troublesome? Ethan gently stroked my belly. This is my happiest time. When the child was in my belly, Ethan started talking to him. Baby, I'm Daddy, you have to be good, don't make Mommy too tired. Baby, Daddy loves you so much, and loves Mommy too. Baby, come out quickly, Daddy can't wait to see you. Every time I heard Ethan speak like this, I would be moved to tears. How can this man be so gentle? 10 months later, our daughter Sylvia was born. She was very beautiful, eyes like Ethan, mouth like me. When Ethan held her for the first time, his hands were shaking with excitement. Aurora, look at her, she's smiling at me. Ethan held his daughter carefully, his eyes full of fatherly love. She's still so small, she can't smile. I said weakly, but my face was full of happy smiles. She must be welcoming Daddy," Ethan insisted. From that day on, Ethan became a standard daughter slave. As soon as the daughter cried, he got extremely nervous, getting up at midnight to change diapers and feed milk. He never let me do it. "Brother Ethan, you'll exhaust yourself like this," I said, heartbroken. Not tired at all." Ethan held his daughter, coaxing her to sleep. "Aurora, you rest well, leave the rest to me." Looking at the warm scene of father and daughter, my heart was full of happiness. This is the life I want, simple and beautiful. When our daughter was 3, Adrian and his wife also had a child. We occasionally had meals together with the children. The 2 little ones played very happily. "I didn't expect we all ended up with such good outcomes," Adrian said emotionally. "Yes, life is really wonderful." I looked at our playing daughter. "Sometimes what you think is the end is actually a new beginning." "Aurora, thank you for your rejection back then," Adrian said sincerely. "If not for you, I would never have met my current wife." "No need to thank me, this is the happiness you deserve," I said, smiling. Ethan hugged me. "Everyone will meet the person who belongs to them, it's just a matter of time." "Well said." Adrian nodded. We all met the right person. That night on the way home, Ethan suddenly asked me, "Aurora, do you still remember that afternoon 10 years ago?" "Which afternoon?" "Your 15th birthday, the afternoon feeding goldfish in the garden." "I remember, that was the most beautiful dusk I've seen." I recalled, "But I didn't expect you were there too. I was watching you from afar, thinking this girl is so beautiful." Ethan said gently, "From then on, I knew I liked you." "Then why didn't you tell me earlier?" "Because I felt I wasn't worthy of you." Ethan smiled bitterly. "An illegitimate child, what right to like the Aurora family's heiress? But now you know, in my heart, you've always been the best." I held his hand. "Brother Ethan, meeting you is the luckiest thing in my life." "Me too." Ethan stopped the car, looking at me affectionately. "Aurora, I love you." "I love you too, forever." The sun set in the west, our shadows stretched very long. Our daughter slept quietly in the back seat, her little face flushed. At this moment, I felt I was the happiest woman in the world. The road of life is not always smooth, but as long as with the right person, even the hardest road becomes smooth. I'm very glad I had the courage to lead back then, even more glad that Ethan gave me the chance to choose again. Now we have love, children, each other, what could be more perfect? 5 years later, we had a second child, this time a son. Ethan joked, "Now my life is complete, with a wife, a daughter, and a son." "What about me?" I pretended to be jealous. "You." Ethan kissed my forehead. "You are my whole world."